it's your boy Kaiza-Sama, and we are back with another figure review video. And in today's video, we are going to be going over a long-awaited figure of 2024. If you guys are new here, drop that like and sub for your boy. Make sure you turn on those post notifications so you know when I drop a new video. Now, in today's video, we are going over the Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire, Godzilla Evolved. I was very skeptical on what this figure was going to look like, you know, as far as detail, the craftsmanship from SH Monsterarts, and you know, if they were really going to take their time with this project. And you know, now that I have it in hand, I definitely think, you know, that they took a step back, took their time on it. You know, I know every figure is not going to look the same just because of, you know, when it's kind of, it's not like a mass production, but when the production numbers are pretty high, not every figure is going to look the exact same. Real quick, I'm going to take a look at the box. Pretty much your standard SH Monsterarts box. And you have the quality stamp sticker for copyright purposes and authenticity. Got Bandai, all that good stuff. Tamashii Nations, Toho. Godzilla is Toho property. Pretty much just have these standard pictures of Godzilla on the side. Logo for the movie. Back, you see all the different poses you can get him in. Now, without further ado, enough with the box. Let's get into the video with the figure. All right, so right off the bat, we really didn't get a lot of accessories or anything like that. The main accessories that you get will be the interchangeable hands. These are the grappling hands. The ones that he comes with are more relaxed. As you can see, they aren't really doing too much, you know, just walking around with them. Then, like I said, these are the grappling hands. These will be the only accessories, you know, being that we pay this little hefty little price tag for SH Monsterarts. You would think they would just automatically include beams or, you know, at least some small city buildings or something like that. You know, you would think we would get that. And back a long time ago, before I even started collecting, they used to actually include these. So now you can only get these in like separate packages on eBay, and you know, people are of course taxing for these. So but now you can look on eBay, people actually make these as like individual little projects. So that's where I actually got these from. If you're wondering, I got these from iPop Designs. You can find them on Instagram and eBay. He has a really like a plethora of just different like design buildings, and you know, they're pretty much scaled perfectly for, you know, kaiju figures and stuff like that. So he does have different kinds. You can see these right here. So you know, you can check that out. We're going to go over articulation, then we'll go over the main focus points of the details, then we'll get into pricing and our final thoughts, and we'll get up out of here. Starting off with the head, as you can see, there is a very fine amount of detail to it. The eyes, it looks like they use more of like a print method, and you know, they didn't try to take the chance with like a messy paintbrush and try to, you know, make it sloppy and all that. So they did a very good job with the eyes. Then as far as the details with the face right here, you can see those pink colorations with like the crest ridges on like the eyebrows and stuff like that. So I like that they at least tried with that. And like I said, they didn't do too much with it. You know, they didn't go overboard to have it looking ugly or anything like that. And then I will say one thing with the neck before we get to the teeth and all that. Before we get that, I do want to say with the neck piece right here, it does have some very adjustable joints as far as looking downwards. As you can see, you can kind of bend over the upper crunch, ab crunch right there, and you can look down a very fine amount right there. But then when you have him looking up, this is literally the furthest you will have him looking up. Literally, that is the furthest that he can look up. So it's almost like he's really looking straight forward most of the time, unless you have his head kind of dipped down like that. So that's one thing I feel like they Could have spent a tad bit more time, you know, kind of focusing on that, because if we take a real quick comparison with -1, we all know -1 has these crazy dorsal spikes, and then we see he has the big one right here. Now, you know, when we take a good look at that, we can tell that they kind of made the joints adjustable to where, you know, the sculpt doesn't get in the way too much, and you can still have his head kind of straight line. You know, if he is, you know, in a swimming pose, it doesn't look all weird to where, oh, the furthest he can bend his head up is that much. You know what I mean? He can at least have his head looking straight beeline. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's one thing they could have spent a little bit more time on. You know, that's probably one of my only gripes about the figure. Everything else is pretty much, you know, spot on with, you know, accuracy and detail. But yeah, they definitely could have did a little bit better of a job with like the sculpting and like the, you know, the adjustability right here. So that's pretty much one of my only gripes. When we talk about the teeth and the jaw, you do have a little bit of detail with the teeth. Take a 360 look right here. Focus in. You can see the little details right there with the intricate little canine teeth right there, but it's still a smudge of like the gum color, kind of like overall, but they did take a little bit of time to try and separate that gum color with little white splices of like, you know, where the teeth would be. So it's not perfect. Like I said, it's SH Monsterarts. As far as like Godzilla figures, their teeth will never be just perfect, you know, unless they have like a whole different like, you know, teeth piece right here. But who knows if we'll ever get something like that. I highly doubt it. Now, when we see the jaw and how far open it can actually open, it only opens up that wide. So do keep that in mind. I wouldn't try to, you know, put too much pressure on it, because you can't have that jaw pop. That's what happened to my 2019 Godzilla, and now his is kind of like looking wonky until I actually just take his jaw just all the way off and then put it, you know, on correctly. He's looking a little, you know, what do you call it, a little underbite or something like that. Now, when we see the details on the jaw, very, very good. Coming down to the upper part of the torso and then the arms, you do see these epidermal scales, kind of similar to alligators and crocodiles. Has a nice crunch to where you can bend them down, like I was showing earlier. One of the main things, though, if you haven't been up too far, you can't see that gap right there. So, just keep that in mind. Now, when we have the arms, you do have that shoulder swivel. You can turn it 360. I usually don't do that, so that's for my 360 people. Now you do have that bicep swivel as well for the different, you know, adjustments as far as posability. You do have the elbow joint right here too, and it also has a separate forearm piece. And then you have the wrist, so you really have a good range with the arms. They're longer this time, so, you know, you do have that good range as far as the elbow, forearm, and biceps right here. Then you have that trademark magenta claw right here on the forearm for the evolution. And then you have the webbed hands. So pretty cool right there. Coming down to the lower abdomen and the other part of the crunch. So he does have two ab crunches, one for the lower, one for the upper. This one is more of just like a side-to-side manner right there. So it doesn't move a lot like this upper crunch does. You know, it can move all together as one if you turn them to the side, you know, in a motion like this. But for the most part, it's more just like a side-to-side swivel. Now, I'm not sure if I show with the head, but you can look side to side as well. Make sure I get that in. Now taking a look at the legs, just like the neck, very similar to the sculpting. We know that this piece right here is to kind of prevent the hole, like the gap, from showing. But because of that sculpting piece for the very back of it, this is the furthest the leg can go back. All right, so do keep that in mind. You know, if you want to get him in a swimming pose, that's going to be the furthest you can get his leg to come back. And then you can kind of bend the tail a little bit lower, kind of have it blended in a little bit better. But yeah, just keep that in mind that the leg does not go back too much. So with that being said, I'm not going to risk the 360 with the leg because that's just going a little bit too far with this figure. Now, when we go down further to the knee part right here, you do have that other skin piece right there, kind of, you know, adjusting with the gaps, movement, posability and stuff. So yeah, you can see it kind of coming out right here. Have that knee joint connecting to that shin joint. Then you have that kind of ankle pivoting piece right here, and you can kind of get it to blend in and, you know, get that kind of pivot, posability, kind of similar to that 2014 SH Monsterarts Godzilla. So you can get that leg, a good pivot right there. And you have the claws, kind of like a stone wooden color. Nice detail with the feet. Then you can get the legs to either go in this much or they can go out this much. And then, like I said, they have that piece right there for the gaps. So I feel like you won't have to, you know, even put it out that far because, like I said, you just have such good range with like longer legs on this figure. So it's like, it's really crazy. You know what I mean? You can probably do that little jumping pose like the old Godzilla. I forgot how his hands were, but you can kind of get him in some wonky poses. So pretty cool, pretty, you know, impressive how they kind of, like I said, they took their time on this figure. Moving down to the tail, you do have some good detail. You have those movable pieces right here, kind of move along with the posability. And I'm pretty sure these tail dorsal plates, these are translucent, probably up until like right here. And then, of course, these probably are as well. So, you know, pretty good range with the tail. Nice long tail. All the SH Monsterarts fans, that's one of our favorite parts. Then we have that Thagomizer tail. Pretty good. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite features with this newer Godzilla, as far as his evolution and, you know, changing up and whatnot. We do have that kind of Stegosaur-like Thagomizer tail. I thought we would see him use it a little bit more in a way of like, you know, actually like cutting, you know, in like a cutting motion, but it was more so still used in, you know, that whip type manner. Now, do understand that you will kind of see a little bit of a wonkiness with like the alignment of the tail, but I feel like that is because the joints are in a more posable build right here as far as like the sculpting. So we can actually get that posability of having the tail come all the way around like that. So I feel like that's why, you know, the joints are, you know, a little bit different this time around because they were trying to really get that detail, you know, more accurate right there. Because you're not going to be looking at the bottom of the tail anyway. So pretty cool. Wrapping it up, dorsal fins, and we'll go straight into the details of the figure all together. Pretty nice detail with the dorsal fins, with that gloss on, you know, the outside of the material. It blends into the skin real nicely at the bottom of it. So real nice job on the dorsal plates. They are translucent. So if you shine a light through the back of, you know, the other side, you will see light coming out very faintly. So very nice details with the dorsal plates. So articulation, I'd say I'd give it a 7.5, 8 out of 10 if I had to give it a grading. Not that bad, but like I said, if they spend just a tad bit more time on the drawing board, we could add, you know, some different ranges, you know, here and there. But let's get into the final thoughts and the details. When we take a look at the figure as a whole and just taking a look at the details and whatnot, overall, I feel like they did a phenomenal job on the figure. I thought it was going to be a little bit wonky as far as the scaling, the evenness, you know, just the equality of like the size of it, because we know that this Godzilla is a little bit slender. You know, just comparing them real quick to the other Godzilla right here. He does have a lot of differences when we compare him to this Godzilla. And, you know, of course, the midsection, like I said, he's a lot more slender. So I didn't know how they were really going to handle that. So that was just one thing that I was very curious on. And then the tail is a little bit different as well. Yeah, this tail, like I was just saying, doesn't have that range like that. So I feel like that's why, you know, they did the adjustments with the joints and how they are kind of irregular here and there. But like I was saying, overall, you know, if they took a tad bit more time, we could add, you know, some more posability in different places. But I think they did a very great job. I do want to get my hands on the Higher Toys version so we can do some comparisons. We'll do a compare and contrast video. I'll have like a separate review video for him, and then we'll actually have a comparison video. So I'll do like 2 different videos in the future. Now, getting into prices and wrapping it up. Pricing for right now, it is just, you know, getting shipped out from like pre-orders. It's already on the secondary market on eBay and Amazon. So you're going to see this guy going up for anywhere around like 120 to like 180 on the secondary markets. And then even with retail, he's releasing for some pre-orders of anywhere between like 125 to like 134, 148, you know, it just depends on what store you're getting it from, you know, and their own profit margins that they need to make. So you will see different prices out there. Of course, everybody, you know, first come, first serve, they're going for the cheaper ones. And then, you know, beyond that, if you're waiting, then, you know, just don't even be surprised that prices are going to be a lot higher in the future. So, you know, once we get into like the spring, summertime of 2025 and you see the prices start skyrocketing just a tad bit, just don't even be surprised, dude, because, you know, even though this is not like a Tamashii Web exclusive or anything like that, and they had like a pretty good stock, you know, to where, you know, some figures are going to be a tad bit darker as far as like the scaling or like the pink and the dorsal plates and stuff like that. But I feel like this is going to be one of those figures to where once it's gone in the store, is gone. That's when you're going to, like I said, you're going to have to hop on the secondary market. So just keep that in mind. Wrapping it up, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know if you have your hands on this guy and what you think about him. What you think about, you know, comparisons with your other SH Monsterarts figures. And let me know what you think about him as far as, you know, if he met your expectations as far as like, you know, the leaked photos and all that, as far as the rumors and stuff we were getting way back in like the spring and the summertime and all that good stuff. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next figure review video. If you guys are already tuned in to my Dragon Ball videos, then I will see you guys in the next gaming video. So you guys take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace.